Greetings, Space Tales enthusiasts. Welcome to a new galactic odyssey set in the realm of science fiction. If our videos bring you joy, remember to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and click the join button to revel in exclusive perks. Let's journey beyond the bounds of imagination. Liam fidgeted, trying to ignore the stares from the assortment of alien beings filling the lecture hall. Nexus Station's artificial gravity felt subtly off, heightening his uneasiness. He'd only arrived the day before, and everything still felt dreamlike. The excitement of the intergalactic exchange program had quickly been overshadowed by its sheer strangeness. Today, we'll discuss Earth mating rituals, Professor Tix announced, her tentacles waving with enthusiasm. A captivating subject, I'm certain you'll all agree. A ripple of chatter spread through the room, but Liam groaned inwardly. Of all topics for his inaugural xenobiology class, why this? The last thing he wanted was to be the center of attention, especially regarding something as personal as Earth dating. Earthlings partake in a unique custom known as dating, Tix continued. This involves a series of social interactions to assess compatibility before mating. Liam's gaze drifted, landing on an alluring figure in the front row, an alien female with emerald skin. She leaned forward, eyes wide with fascination. Despite her unusual coloring, her features were remarkably human-like and attractive. Liam found himself transfixed. "Mr. Liam," Professor Tix's voice snapped him back to reality. "Perhaps our Earth representative would like to share more." Liam's face flushed as all eyes turned to him. Well, dating isn't just about mating," he stammered. "It's about getting to know someone, seeing if you connect emotionally." The green-skinned girl turned to him, her violet eyes locking onto his with intense curiosity. Liam's words faltered under her gaze. "Interesting," Tix mused, a tentacle stroking her chin. "And how does one initiate this dating process?" "There aren't really set rules," Liam mumbled, trying to focus. "You could ask someone out for coffee, dinner, or to see a holo film." "Fascinating," Tix exclaimed. "And what about physical contact? I understand humans engage in a behavior called kissing." Liam wished the floor would swallow him. "Yeah, that's a thing we do," he muttered, longing for the lecture to end. "Perhaps a demonstration," Tix suggested eagerly. "No," Liam blurted out, earning chuckles from his classmates. "I mean, it's not something you typically do in public." The green-skinned girl was still watching him, a smirk playing on her lips. Was she amused? "Very well," Tix said, sounding slightly disappointed. "Moving on to human courtship rituals." The rest of the lecture blurred. Liam couldn't shake the feeling of those vibrant eyes on him, especially from the green-skinned girl. As soon as the class ended, he grabbed his things and made a beeline for the door, eager to escape. He was almost out when a melodious voice called, "Hey, Earth boy." Liam turned to find the green-skinned girl approaching, a mischievous glint in her eyes. Up close, she was even more stunning. Her emerald skin seemed to glow with an inner light, and her violet eyes were almost hypnotic. "Hi," Liam managed, feeling flustered. "I'm Zara," she said, flashing a dazzling smile. "That was some lecture, huh? I had no idea Earth customs were so intriguing." "Yeah, it was. Something," Liam agreed, rubbing the back of his neck. "I'm Liam, by the way." "Liam," she repeated, as if savoring the name. "So, tell me, is kissing really as big a deal as the professor made it sound?" Liam felt his face heat up again. "It can be, I guess, depending on the situation." Zara leaned in slightly, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "And have you done a lot of this kissing, Liam, from Earth?" I, uh, Liam stammered, thrown by her directness. "That's kind of personal, don't you think?" Zara's laughter was like wind chimes. "You Earthlings and your modesty. I'm just curious. We don't have anything like that on my world." Liam found himself intrigued. So, how do your people express affection? Wouldn't you like to know? Zara teased, her eyes sparkling. She was about to say more when someone bumped into her, sending her stumbling into Liam. Liam caught her by the shoulders, steadying her. To his surprise, her skin began to glow, pulsing with a soft green light. "Are you okay?" he asked, concerned. Zara's eyes were wide, and she was breathing faster. Yes, that was unexpected. Liam realized he was still holding her and quickly let go. "Sorry, I didn't mean to." "No, it's fine," Zara said quickly, a slight smile returning. "More than fine, actually. That was interesting." Before Liam could reply, a booming voice echoed through the hallway. "All new arrivals, report to orientation in Hangar Bay 3. Repeat, all new arrivals to Hangar Bay 3. "That's me," Liam said, relieved for the interruption. "I should go." "Of course," Zara nodded. "But we'll talk again soon, Liam from Earth. I have so many more questions for you." As Liam hurried away, he could still feel the tingling sensation in his palms where he had touched her. What was that reaction, and why did he feel his stay on Nexus Station was about to get a lot more complicated? The orientation session dragged on for what felt like an eternity. Liam's mind kept drifting back to Zara and that strange moment in the hallway. He was so distracted that he nearly missed his room assignment when the android coordinator announced it. "Liam Chen, Habitat Ring, Section 4, Room 217, the android said, its voice flat and emotionless. "Please collect your access chip at the desk." Liam made his way through the crowded hangar, barely registering the cacophony of alien languages around him. He was exhausted, overwhelmed, and more than ready for some privacy. Nexus Station was vast, and the Habitat Ring was a massive structure, curved to match the station's rotation. Liam's room was about halfway around, with a viewport offering a dizzying view of the stars beyond. He pressed his access chip to the door panel, hearing it whoosh open with a soft hiss. "Hello, roomie." Liam froze in the doorway. Sitting cross-legged on one of the two narrow beds was Zara, grinning impishly. "What? How?" Liam sputtered, completely taken aback. "Surprise," Zara laughed. "Looks like we'll be sharing more than just classes." Liam's mind raced, trying to process what was happening. "But aren't there rules about mixed-species housing?" Zara shrugged, the motion accentuating her curves in a way that made Liam's mouth go dry. "Apparently not. The housing AI must have decided we were compatible." "Compatible?" Liam echoed weakly, still trying to wrap his head around the situation. "Well, we're both bipedal humanoids, right? Close enough in size and atmospheric requirements." Zara's eyes sparkled with amusement. "Unless you have a problem with green skin?" "No, of course not," Liam said quickly. "It's just unexpected." "You'll find a lot of unexpected things out here in the galaxy, Liam from Earth," Zara said, rising gracefully from the bed. "Might as well embrace it." Ash moved past him to the small kitchenette. Liam caught a whiff of something exotic and enticing that made his head spin. "So," Zara said, rummaging through a cabinet, "tell me more about these Earth customs. What's this coffee you mentioned in class? Is it some sort of mating ritual?" Liam couldn't help but laugh. "Not exactly. It's a drink, caffeinated. People often share it as a social thing, or to help wake up." "Interesting," Zara mused. "We have something similar on my world. A bioluminescent algae tea. Very stimulating." She turned, fixing Liam with that intense gaze again. "Perhaps we could share some sometime for cultural exchange." "Sure," Liam agreed, not quite sure what he was getting himself into. "That sounds educational." Zara's laugh sent a shiver down his spine. "Oh, I'm counting on it. But first you should unpack. I've already claimed this side of the room. Hope you don't mind." Liam glanced around, noticing for the first time the array of strange objects adorning Zara's half of their shared space. Glowing crystals, holographic displays, and what looked suspiciously like a pulsating plant filled her. Shelves. "It's fine," he said, moving to the empty bed. "I don't have much stuff anyway." As he began unpacking his meager belongings, Liam couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. Every time he glanced over, Zara seemed to be studying him intently. "So," she said after a while, "about that kissing thing." Liam nearly dropped the hollow frame he was holding. "What about it?" Zara leaned against the wall, her head tilted curiously. "Is it really as pleasant as they say? I've read some rather interesting descriptions in your Earth literature." Liam felt his face grow hot again. "It can be, yeah, with the right person." "And how does one determine the right person?" Zara pressed, taking a step closer. "It's not really something you can explain," Liam said desperately, wishing for a change of subject. "It's more of a feeling, I guess." "A feeling," Zara repeated thoughtfully. She pushed off from the wall, taking another step closer to Liam. "And what kind of feeling would that be?" "Exactly." Liam's heart raced as Zara invaded his personal space. He could see flecks of gold in her violet eyes, smell that intoxicating scent again. I, it's hard to describe." Zara's hand reached out, her fingers barely brushing his arm. Immediately, her skin began to glow, pulsing with that strange inner light. Liam felt a jolt of something race through him at the contact. "Fascinating," Zara breathed. "Do you feel that?" Liam nodded mutely. Words failed him. The moment was shattered when a blaring siren went off. Red warning lights began flashing all over the room. "Attention, all residents," a robotic voice announced. "A minor containment failure has been detected in Sector 4. Remain in your assigned quarters until the all-clear is given. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill." Zara pulled back her hand and Liam felt inexplicably bereft. "Well," she said, a note of disappointment in her tone, "I suppose our cultural exchange will have to wait." "Yeah, I guess so," Liam said, trying to gather his scattered thoughts as Zara moved to check the room's security panel. Liam took a shaky breath. What had he gotten himself into? And, more importantly, how was he going to survive sharing a room with this intriguing, bewildering, utterly captivating alien girl? One thing was certain. His time at Nexus Station was going to be anything but dull. The containment breach turned out to be nothing more than a malfunctioning trash disposal unit, but it had left Liam anxious. Lying in bed that night, he couldn't stop remembering Zara's touch, that strange electric current that had passed between them. Morning came all too quickly, and Liam dragged himself out of bed, bleary-eyed and disoriented. He fumbled for his towel, longing for a shower to clear his head. The bathroom door slid open with a hiss, releasing a cloud of steam. Liam emerged, droplets of water glistening on his skin, the towel loosely draped low on his hips. He froze. Zara stood by her bed, eyes wide, mouth slightly agape. Her gaze swept over Liam's exposed torso, lingering on the sculpted muscles of his abdomen. Her skin began to pulse with that otherworldly luminescence, growing brighter by the second. Good morning," Liam stammered, clutching his towel tighter. Zara's voice came out as a breathless whisper. "Good morning, indeed." Liam felt his face flush hot. He scrambled for something to say, anything to break the tension. "I didn't realize you were up. I'll just go get dressed." He turned to retreat to the bathroom, but Zara's voice stopped him. "Wait." Liam glanced back, raising an eyebrow. Zara took a step closer, her skin pulsating with light. "I was wondering if you could explain something for me." "Sure," Liam said warily. "What is it?" "This reaction humans have when seeing each other unclothed," Zara said, her eyes still fixed on his form. Is it always so intense? Liam swallowed hard. Not always. It depends on the person, the situation. I see, Zara mused. She took another step forward, close enough now that Liam could feel the heat radiating from her luminous skin. And what about this situation, Liam? Is it intense for you? Liam's heart hammered in his chest. He opened his mouth to answer, but no words came out. Zara's hand reached out, hovering just above his skin. May I? Words failing him, Liam nodded. The moment Zara's fingers touched his chest, a jolt of electricity seemed to pass between them. Liam gasped, his skin tingling where she touched him. Fascinating, Zara breathed. Your heart rate has accelerated significantly, and your skin, it's so warm. Liam struggled to form coherent thoughts. Zara, I... A sharp knock on the door made them both jump. Room check, a gruff voice called from the other side. Open up, Liam cursed under his breath, diving for his clothes. Zara composed herself quickly, smoothing her hair and willing her skin to stop glowing. The rest of the day passed in a blur of classes and orientations, but Liam couldn't concentrate. His mind kept returning to that moment in their room, the sensation of Zara's touch. As evening approached, Liam dreaded returning to their shared quarters. What would he say to her? How could he act normally after what had happened? He needn't have worried. When he entered the room, Zara was engrossed in a holographic display, muttering to herself in her native tongue. Everything okay? Liam ventured. Zara looked up, flashing a distracted smile. Oh, hello, Liam. Yes, just wrestling with this xenobiology assignment. Earth fauna is so complex. Liam peered at the display, recognizing images of various animals. Maybe I can help. I grew up there, after all. Zara's eyes lit up. Would you? That would be wonderful. They spent the next few hours huddled together over the holo display, Liam explaining the complexities of Earth's ecosystems. He found himself relaxing, enjoying Zara's genuine curiosity and sharp wit. I still don't understand how these penguins survive, Zara said, shaking her head. Such harsh conditions. Liam chuckled. They're tougher than they look. Kind of like you, I bet. Zara's skin pulsed with a gentle glow. You think I'm tough? Yeah, Liam replied. I mean, you left your homeworld to study in this crazy mix of species. That takes guts. Zara's expression softened. Thank you, Liam. That means a lot, coming from you. Their eyes met, and for a moment, the air between them seemed to crackle with unspoken tension. Zara broke the silence first. We should probably take a break. How about we watch one of those Earth movies you mentioned? Liam agreed, grateful for the diversion. They settled onto the small couch, queuing up a classic romantic comedy. As the film played, Liam found himself hyper-aware of Zara's presence beside him, the subtle scent of her skin, the warmth radiating from her body. Midway through the movie, Zara let out a quiet laugh. Is this really how humans court each other? It seems so complicated. Liam shrugged. It's exaggerated for entertainment, but yeah, dating can be messy sometimes. Zara turned to face him, her expression curious. Have you experienced much of this dating, Liam? Some, he admitted. Nothing too serious, though. And have you ever felt about someone the way these characters feel about each other? Zara pressed. Liam's mouth went dry. I'm not sure. Maybe. It's hard to tell sometimes. Zara's gaze intensified. But surely you must know when you're attracted to someone, when their very presence makes your heart race and your skin tingle. Liam's pulse quickened. Was she talking about him? But Zara had already turned back to the screen, her expression unreadable. Liam took a shaky breath, trying to focus on the movie. He must have dozed off at some point, because the next thing he knew, he was waking to the soft glow of Zara's skin. Somehow, during the night, they had shifted positions. Zara was curled against his side, her head resting on his chest, one arm draped across his torso. Liam froze, not daring to move. Zara looked so peaceful, her features softened in sleep. He couldn't help but notice how perfectly she fit against him, how right it felt to have her in his arms. As if sensing his gaze, Zara's eyes fluttered open. For a moment she seemed confused, then realization dawned, and her skin began to pulse with that now familiar glow. "Oh," she exclaimed, sitting up quickly. "I'm so sorry, Liam. I didn't mean to." "It's okay," Liam said immediately, missing her warmth. "I guess we both fell asleep." Zara ran a hand through her tousled hair, looking adorably flustered. "I've never. That is, on my world, we don't typically share sleep spaces like this." "We don't usually on Earth either," Liam admitted. "At least not unless you're, you know, partners." "Partners," Zara repeated thoughtfully. An awkward silence fell between them. Liam scrambled for something to say, anything to diffuse the tension. "So, did you like the movie?" he asked lamely. Zara's lips quirked into a small smile. "What I saw of it, yes, though I'm not sure I fully understand the human obsession with this kissing ritual." Liam's gaze dropped to Zara's lips before he could stop himself. "It's nice, when done right." Zara leaned in slightly, her voice dropping to a husky whisper. "Is that so? Perhaps you could demonstrate sometime, for educational purposes, of course." Liam's heart nearly leapt out of his chest. Was she serious? Before he could respond, Zara's communicator chirped loudly. "Oh no," she groaned, glancing at the device. "I'm late for my shift in the botany lab. I have to go." She jumped up, gathering her things in a flurry of movement. At the door, she paused, turning back to Liam with a mischievous glint in her eye. "This isn't over, Liam from Earth," she said with a wink. "I still have so much to learn about human customs." As the door slid shut behind her, Liam flopped back onto the couch, his mind reeling. What was happening between them? And more importantly, how was he supposed to concentrate on anything else when all he could think about was the feel of Zara in his arms? The next few days passed in a blur of stolen glances and charged moments. Every accidental touch sent sparks through Liam's body. He found himself hyper-aware of Zara's presence, attuned to her every movement. One evening, as they studied together in their room, Zara let out a frustrated groan. "I don't understand how you humans navigate all these social complexities. How do you ever manage to form relationships?" Liam chuckled despite himself. "It's not always easy. There's a lot of guesswork involved." Zara's eyes locked onto his, intent and searching. "And what about us, Liam? Am I guessing correctly about what's happening between us?" Liam's breath caught in his throat. This was it, the moment of truth. He opened his mouth to respond, but before he could form the words, the station's alert system blared to life. "Attention, all residents," the computerized voice announced. "A critical systems malfunction has been detected. All non-essential personnel must evacuate to emergency shelters immediately. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill." Liam and Zara exchanged panicked looks. Whatever was happening between them would have to wait. Right now, they had bigger problems to deal with. As they rushed to gather essential items, Liam couldn't shake the feeling that their lives on Nexus Station were about to change dramatically. There was no doubt about it. Whatever challenges lay ahead, he was happy to face them with Zara at his side. The alarm bells echoed as Liam and Zara ran through the crowded hallways of Nexus Station. Aliens of all shapes and sizes jostled past them, a cacophony of anxious voices filling the air. "This way," Liam yelled, seizing Zara's hand and pulling her toward the closest evacuation point. The moment their skin touched, he felt that familiar surge of electricity, but now was not the time to dwell on it. They reached the emergency shelter just as the blast doors began to close. Liam dove through the shrinking gap, pulling Zara with him. They tumbled to the ground in a tangle of limbs, panting hard. "Are you okay?" Liam asked, scanning Zara for any signs of injury. Zara nodded, her skin pulsating with a soft glow. "I'm fine, thanks to you." Their eyes met, and for a brief moment, the surrounding chaos faded. Liam became acutely aware of their bodies pressed together, Zara's warmth seeping into him. A harsh voice shattered the moment. "All right, lovebirds, break it up. We need to take a head count." Liam sprang to his feet, helping Zara up. As they joined the crowd of evacuees, he couldn't help but notice the knowing glances and whispers from their peers. Hours passed in uneasy uncertainty. Liam and Zara huddled together in a corner of the shelter, sharing what little information they could glean from overheard conversations. "I heard it was a fault in the main reactor," Zara whispered. "They're saying it could take days to repair." Liam frowned. "Days? But what about our exams? The interspecies communication final is tomorrow." Zara's lips curled into a small smile. "Always the dedicated student, aren't you? Even in the face of potential disaster." "Hey," Liam teased back, "some of us didn't get an A on every xenobiology test this semester." Their light-hearted banter was interrupted by a station-wide announcement. "Attention, all residents. The critical systems fault has been contained. The all clear will be announced in 1 hour. Please remain in your designated safe zones until then." A collective sigh of relief swept through the shelter. Liam felt some of the tension leave his shoulders, but a new kind of anxiety began to take its place. With the immediate danger past, his mind returned to the conversation they'd had in their quarters. As if reading his mind, Zara turned to him, her expression serious. "Liam, about what I was saying earlier." His heart raced. Zara took a deep breath. "I think it's time we discussed this." She gestured between them. "Whatever is happening between us." Liam nodded, his mouth suddenly dry. "Okay, yeah, let's talk." They found a secluded corner of the shelter, away from prying eyes and ears. Zara spoke first, her words deliberate and measured. "In my culture, physical contact is significant," she began. "It's not something we engage in lightly. When we do, it can trigger intense physiological and emotional responses." Liam listened carefully, things starting to make sense. "Is that why your skin glows when we touch?" Zara nodded. "Yes, it's a biological response indicating compatibility, attraction." Her cheeks darkened to a deeper shade of green. "When you touch me, Liam, it's like nothing I've ever experienced before. It's overwhelming, intoxicating. Your touch drives me wild." Liam's breath caught in his throat. "Zara, I had no idea. Why didn't you tell me sooner?" "I was afraid," Zara admitted. "Afraid you wouldn't understand, that you'd think I was strange, and afraid of what it might mean." Liam reached out, hesitating a moment before gently taking Zara's hand. Her skin instantly began to pulse with that ethereal light. "You're not strange," Liam said softly. "You're incredible, and for what it's worth, I feel it too. Maybe not the same way, but when I'm with you, nothing else matters." Zara's eyes widened, hope and uncertainty warring in her expression. "Really? You mean that?" Liam nodded, a smile tugging at his lips. "Yeah, I do. And I think I'd like to see where this goes if you want to, that is." Zara's face broke into a radiant smile, her whole body seeming to glow. "I'd like that very much, Liam from Earth." The next hour passed in a blur of soft conversation and shy glances. When the all clear was finally given, Liam and Zara made their way back to their room, hand in hand, ignoring the curious looks from their classmates. As the door slid shut behind them, a new kind of tension filled the air. They stood facing each other, the weight of possibility hanging between them. "So," Liam said, his voice a little husky, Where do we go from here? Zara's eyes sparkled with mischief. Well, I believe you still owe me a demonstration of that human kissing ritual. Liam's heart pounded. Are you sure? I don't want to overwhelm you or... His words were cut off as Zara stepped closer, her body nearly touching his. Liam, she whispered, I've never been more sure of anything in my life. Throwing caution to the wind, Liam cupped Zara's face in his hands and brought his lips to hers. The moment they touched, it was like a supernova exploded behind his eyelids. Zara's skin blazed with light, bathing them both in a soft green glow. When they finally broke apart, both were breathless. Zara's eyes were wide with wonder. Is it always like that for humans? She asked. Liam shook his head, a dazed smile on his face. No, that was something else entirely. They spent the rest of the night talking, laughing, and exploring this new dimension of their relationship. As the artificial dawn broke over the station, they realized with a jolt that they had completely forgotten about their impending exam. Oh no, Liam groaned. The interspecies communication final. We haven't studied at all. Zara's laughter was like music. I think we've had some pretty intensive practical experience, wouldn't you say? They rushed to class hand in hand, arriving just as the professor was about to begin. As they took their seats, Liam couldn't help but feel a surge of confidence. Whatever questions the exam might throw at them, he knew they could handle it together. The weeks that followed were a whirlwind of discovery and joy. Liam and Zara dove deep into each other's cultures, finding beauty in their differences and strength in their shared experiences. They faced challenges, of course. There were misunderstandings and moments of frustration as they navigated the complexities of an interspecies relationship. But through it all, their bond only grew stronger. One evening, as they stood in the station's observation dome, watching a spectacular nebula drift by, Zara turned to Liam with a serious expression. Liam, she said softly, I need to tell you something. Liam's heart skipped a beat. What is it? Zara took a deep breath. My time in the exchange program is almost up. I'm supposed to return to my homeworld next month. The words struck Liam like a physical blow. He had known on some level that this day would come, but he had pushed it to the back of his mind, lost in the joy of their time together. Oh, he said, his voice small. I knew that was coming. I just didn't want to think about it. Zara's eyes shimmered with unshed tears. I don't want to leave you, Liam. These past months have been the happiest of my life. Liam pulled her close, feeling the familiar warmth of her skin against his. We'll figure something out, he promised. I'm not ready to let you go either. They spent the next few weeks exploring every possible option. Liam looked into extending his stay on the station, while Zara investigated the possibility of continuing her studies on Earth. But the bureaucratic red tape seemed insurmountable. As the day of Zara's departure drew near, a heavy melancholy settled over them both. They tried to make the most of their remaining time together, but the specter of separation loomed large. The night before Zara was set to leave, they lay tangled together in Liam's bed, neither willing to sleep and lose a single moment. I wish we had more time, Liam murmured, tracing patterns on Zara's glowing skin. Zara propped herself up on one elbow, her expression suddenly determined. Who says we don't? Liam raised an eyebrow. What do you mean? A slow smile spread across Zara's face. Liam from Earth, how would you feel about a little interstellar adventure? As the first light of artificial dawn broke over Nexus Station, two figures could be seen sneaking toward the civilian shuttle bay. Liam and Zara moved quickly and quietly, their meager possessions stuffed into backpacks. Are you sure about this? Liam whispered as they approached a small, sleek vessel. Zara's answering grin was radiant. Absolutely. Are you? Liam took a moment to consider. He thought about the life he was leaving behind, the uncertainty that lay ahead. Then he looked at Zara. her green skin glowing with excitement and love, and knew there was only one answer. "Let's do it," he said, squeezing her hand. As the shuttle's engines hummed to life, Liam felt a mix of fear and exhilaration. They were breaking about a dozen station regulations, not to mention intergalactic travel laws. But as he looked at Zara, her eyes shining with adventure and promise, he knew it was worth it. The shuttle lifted off, carrying them away from Nexus Station and into the vast unknown of space. Liam had no idea what challenges lay ahead, what wonders or dangers they might encounter, but he knew that as long as he had Zara by his side, they could face anything the universe threw at them. As the station receded behind them, Zara turned to Liam with a mischievous smile. "So, Liam from Earth, ready for your next lesson in interspecies relations?" Liam laughed, pulling her close. "Always, Zara of the stars. Always." Their kiss lit up the cockpit, a beacon of love and hope blazing across the cosmos. Whatever the future held, they would face it together, two hearts beating as one across the vastness of space. As the shuttle glided through the vastness of space, Zara and Liam sat in the cockpit, fingers entwined. Outside, the viewport showed stars like twinkling guides, beckoning them into the unknown. They had left Nexus Station far behind, along with the lives they'd once known. A future full of uncertainty stretched before them, but neither was afraid. With each other, they knew they could handle any challenge. Zara rested her head on Liam's shoulder, her skin glowing, casting a soft green glow over the cockpit. "Where do we go first?" she asked, brimming with excitement. Liam chuckled, kissing her forehead. "Anywhere but here. Let's pick a direction and see what happens." Zara's eyes sparkled with delight. "I like that. How about the Andromeda cluster? I hear it's beautiful this time of year." "Andromeda it is," Liam replied, entering the coordinates into the navigation system. "I've always wanted to see it." As the shuttle hummed to life, Zara turned to Liam, her face serious. "Liam, I know we're leaping into this, but are you sure? This is a huge step, leaving everything." Liam squeezed her hand, his gaze unwavering. "I've never been more sure of anything. We've already faced so much together. I know we'll be fine. I don't want to be anywhere else but with you." Zara's eyes softened, her heart full. "I feel the same. I don't know what the future holds, but I know we'll face it together." As the shuttle accelerated, stars streaked past in dazzling light. The vastness of space lay open before them, an endless playground of wonders waiting to be discovered. They spent days exploring, hopping from one star system to the next, relishing their newfound freedom. They explored alien markets, swam in crystalline oceans, and danced beneath twin suns. Every new experience strengthened their bond. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. They faced mechanical failures, hostile aliens, and even a near miss with space pirates. Yet they remained steadfast, their trust unwavering. One evening on the observation deck, Zara turned to Liam, thoughtful. "Liam, do you ever wonder what comes next, beyond just traveling?" Liam, his brow furrowed, looked at the stars. "I do. I wonder where we'll end up, what life we'll build, but I don't have all the answers. All I know is I want you with me, no matter what." Zara smiled, leaning in. "That's enough. As long as we're together, we'll find our way." They sat in comfortable silence, watching the stars, content in the knowledge that they'd chosen each other. Their journey had no fixed destination, and that was the beauty of it. Each day offered a new adventure, a chance to grow and discover. As the shuttle continued, they knew they were on the path to something extraordinary. Their love, tested and strengthened, was ready for anything. In the vastness of space, two hearts beat as one, united by love and a shared desire to explore the infinite possibilities. Whatever came next, they would face it together, hand in hand, ready. As they looked at the stars, they knew their story had only just begun.